Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry if it took a while to change that. Anyway, One Punch Man, episodes 10, 11, 12. We are finally done with season 1. Is there anything I need to watch, guys, before I hop into season 2? Or is it safe for me just to immediately hop on season 2 after this? Let me know in the comment section below. So yeah. Excuse me. So one... The last episode was hype. The last episode was clearly the better of all the other episodes. The other, if not for this episode, the other thing I enjoyed the most was definitely Genos versus Saitama, or whatchamacallit, the whole Sea King arc, where everyone was basically fighting him. Those two were by far my favorite. But this last episode, episode 12 was real nice, I tell you what. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the series. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons to it. The pros, easy. The animation is literally this series' best appeal. The animation, some of the characters have a very interesting concept. Once again, to me, some of you be like, what is wrong with you? You don't like this guy, you don't like this guy, but you like him? Look, man, I like who I like. Leave me alone. But, my top 2 favorite characters so far are Moonman Rider, definitely him. I guess I'll do a top 3. So Moonman Rider is number 1 for me. Number 2 was Boros, the last boss for One Punch Man. Third of all is Genos. And to me personally, those are the top 3 interesting characters out of everyone I've seen. Even though Boros, we only really got to know him through episodes, I think 10 through 12 or 10 or 11 through 12. But even still, he was more interesting because he showed these variety of powers. He has this unique sense of, like, there was some character to him, you know, even though it was very brief. And honestly, you can get away with saying there wasn't much to his character, which is true. There really wasn't much. But I just like him overall because of how he is, his mindset, his powers, what he's able to do. It's cool, and I like his design. In my opinion, he has by far the best designs out of out of majority of what I've seen. But yeah, so there wasn't much about him really to go on, but once again, it's just his final fight with Saitama, and I appreciated the fact that he was the strongest opponent Saitama has ever faced. Even though it was clear that Saitama was, like, he could have belt him at any time he wanted to. He actually went serious. For the first time, Saito went serious on an opponent. But when he went serious, all it took is one punch again. So, yeah. Definitely was awesome to see someone really make Saitama sweat. Well, not necessarily sweat, but really made him go serious. You know what I mean? So, Boros definitely was an interesting character. I definitely liked him. I hope he's not dead. I hope he comes out later in Season 2. But realistically, I think he's done. Unless he comes out later, I'll be looking forward to that. Genos, honestly, Genos is a very interesting character because I love that he very much feels like a robot version of Iron Man. I love how he fights. I love his powers. I love his mindset is very boring and bland, but he's one of those heroes that struggle, and despite the struggle, they constantly improve. And by far, those are my favorite kind of characters. I love characters that are not OP in the beginning. They struggle, but they get better. That's why Genos is in the top spots for me in this series, on my favorite characters. Because, even though he got from his first appearance against Mosquito Woman, he did his best, but ultimately he got wrecked. But not long after that, he improved. He got new gears, new arms, new weapons. He always improves, and especially during the fight against Saitama. He improved so much from the previous episodes that it almost looked like he was matching up for Saitama, even though it was clear. It was very clear Genos is nowhere near as strong as majority of the characters we've seen in S rank. Genos might possibly be one of the lower tier ones because, once again, he gets his butt stomped so easily, and he almost feels fragile, to be honest with you. And what I mean by fragile, like, every single time he gets attacked, he's always seriously injured. His endurance, his defense is very low, in my opinion. He obviously, most of his traits, most of his pros comes from his attacks. His physical prowess, what he can do damage-wise, is what he excels at. But defense-wise, he's pretty much a snowflake, in my opinion. He always ends up extremely damaged. And in certain cases, he almost reminds me of like the One Punch Man version of Mega Man, except Mega Man is far more cooler, in my opinion, and can do way more like god level feats. So Genos is kind of like a nerfed version, almost like a parody version of Mega Man, because even though the series has awesome animation and action scenes, it has very well stand out comedic moments. So yeah, that's what the few things I want to say. And last but not least, Moonman Rider. Despite him getting wrecked, despite him clearly being beneath everyone, physical prowess wise, he has heart. I love a character that has heart. He has, even though his physical abilities aren't OP, his moral compass, his moral sense is extremely vast and OP, in my opinion. And that is character. His character stood out more to me than majority of any of the other characters I've seen in this series. And in my opinion, Saitama is by far one of the most boring characters I have ever seen. He is literally the anime comedic version of Superman. He pretty much beats every enemy effortlessly. Easily beats everyone without even trying. And people are like, well, you shouldn't be taking it too seriously. He's meant to be a comedic OP character. I get that. But here's the thing. I'm not a huge fan of those said characters. Because even though clearly Saitama is, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, Saitama is funny, and he's crazy. I mean, if you like characters that are super OP without, for any reason, don't struggle, take W's every day, like, then sure, you're gonna love the hell out of Saitama. But me, I prefer struggled characters. I prefer characters that are, they don't have to be weak, but I don't want them to effortlessly beat every enemy without even trying. Otherwise, fight scenes can end up being a little lackluster. For me, that's why the last episode was by far the best, because for once, you see not necessarily a struggled fight, but a prolonged fight. It's not something that is ended in like the first 5 minutes. So yeah, that's why Saitama, in my opinion, is very boring. He's too bland for me. Once again, the only thing I really like when Saitama comes out is the action scenes. But when it comes down to his core character, I can't bring myself to really love his character. I like him for the action, but that's it. Nothing more than that. One can also say, but this series is based on pure action, and yes, I know that, but that's not enough to win me over. I need to see amazing character, good story, action scenes. For me, if you can give me good story, good characters, and the action scenes are like, then that's fine. That's why for me, Fairy Tail is one of my number one favorite animes. Yes, I said it. Even though some people might disagree with me, Fairy Tail for me is in my top 3 favorite animes. Because even though Fairy Tail doesn't have, the action is dope, but let's be real. Fairy Tail's action scenes are not One Punch Man level. Facts. But the story is good. The characters are extremely likable that I don't care. Fairy Tail could have one of the most worst action animations, and I'd still love it because the story, and I love the characters to death. I love majority of the characters the Fairy Tail spits out. That's what this series is lacking. In me, it's like they sacrifice characters. They sacrifice decent character development, decent story for action animation and comedy. That's if you're here for just action and comedy, you'll love it. If you're here wanting some good characters and story development, you may not like it so much. Because once again, majority of the characters I've seen that were new, I did not see till the very end. So I don't care for them as much. I don't care for the Esper chick. I don't care for the swordsman, even though he had, oh my god, he had awesome fight scenes. I care a little bit about the old man because he shows more wisdom and character than the main character. So the old man, definitely like him. So yeah, once again, it's like the series traded off character development, story, just for action and comedy. And for me, you need more than that for me to be hooked on a series, or for me to actually like be in love with a series. It takes more than action to get me to like something. It takes more than that. Trust me, I am a person that values character and story above everything. Above animation and above action. So yeah, it's gonna take more than that's why for me One Punch Man for me currently, if I were to rate it out of 5 stars, I would give it either a 3.5 or a solid 4. That's me being nice, by the way. You know what? No, that's being too nice. I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5. Once again, action was this series' extreme strong suit, as well as comedy. But even though for me some of the comedy was kind of, it was alright. It lacked too much characters. It lacked too much on story. So I know what the story is for Saitama to find an enemy that can give him a worldwide fight or make him go serious. I understand that's the point of the story, but guys, there are plenty of ways to do that without even that concept itself could be a good story, but you have to, but the way it was fleshed out in this series didn't felt that great to me. What else? In my opinion, for this series to really be good, it needed to be more than 12 episodes. At least a solid 24 episodes. And here's the thing, that's for this series. There are other series I've seen out there, not necessarily Shonen Jump or Action or whatever, that are 12 episodes only, and yet they still get in really damn good story. For example, another example, the series Air. I'm getting close to finishing it. It's very short, like One Punch Man, but it has better story and better characters than this series. Like, you can't even, like, if you put the series Air and if you put the series One Punch Man right next to each other, literally which one would you pick? Good story, good characters, or good animation and meh comedy? You take your pick. I'm going to have to go with good story and good character. Sue me, but that's what I prefer. Alright then, guys. That's it for One Punch Man. That's it for the series One Punch Man. That means starting this week, we will be getting in Season 2 unless my subscribers and Discord members let me know otherwise. Let's get to questions. How would you rate this series in your mind? Considering everything I said, where would you rate it, and let me know why? Question 2. Who were your top 3 favorite characters? And you don't have to let me know why. You can if you want to, but just let me know who are your top 3 favorite characters. That's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, sub if you haven't already. It really motivates me to put more content out there for you guys as my guildmates. And I'll see you guys all in future reactions. Peace.